and then joining those data sets together and using that to bring to light, and then deconflicting against over 50 known threat intel feed sources, against all known mass scanners, all known sinkholes, for example, or honeypots, and then only then surfacing the valuable information. That's basically how we do it. Any other questions?
Does it parlay any type of open source or public tools like Shodan?
So Shodan is actually in some sense, similar to one of the services that we provide, and that is our what we call global active scanning data. And that is the fact that we scan the internet every hour for all relative 4.3 billion IPs in the IPv4 space. Shodan does this from known attributable infrastructure, and so that's very easy to be blocked, right, or blacklisted. They do this on a 1 month to a little bit longer cadence. We do this almost every hour. The timeliness of that is very valuable. So comparing scan data, what we say unattributable. We have a global infrastructure spread across the world that is constantly changing, and so is nearly impossible to be blacklisted for a substantial amount of time. And so that is how our scan, what we call active scan data, differences from Shodan's. Shodan offers this ability to search for a particular IP address or range if you know what it is. At Expanse, we, at the enterprise level, identify everything you own. And on most cases, with most customers, both potential and current, we find substantially more than you ever knew you owned, whether that be domains or IPs, both on-premise and cloud. And so now we are able to look at a lot more than you would have been able to look at in the past. When you tie in our access to global NetFlow and some of the other data sources, as I mentioned earlier, and then our threat and incident response services, that's where we really differentiate ourselves.
Anybody else? Any more questions? All right, please give a round of applause for Expanse.
Thank you.
And so just to wrap it up here, thank you for coming. And hopefully you've gotten some insight. We had a really great diversity of talent here. Don't forget to fill in the sign-in sheet. We'll send you a CPE thing so you can get your hour and a half of CPEs for your attending tonight. But this has been a great sort of potpourri, if you will, smorgasbord of different technology. We had Matt Schmidt from Savient talking about ID management, and we had Rally Katani talking about, from Contrast, talking about application security, and then we had Sean Donnelly talking about Expanse and threat hunting, and then finally Josh Stella from Feud talked about cloud configuration management. So hopefully you got some insight into some emerging technologies and some new companies, new stuff to spend your money on. And I'd like to thank you again. Next month, Alex Groman, who is an international VP of the ISSA board, he will be here January 15th talking about 837, the applying the risk management framework and changes in revision 2. Please have a safe and happy holiday season, whichever one you celebrate. And sign-in sheet, and please consider becoming a member of our August organization.